Over the past decades, Switzerland and the EU have agreed on more than 120 bilateral deals to ensure smooth relations in areas such as trade, transport, security and education.
The EU is Switzerland's most important economic partner, and barrier-free participation in the EU single market remains a priority for the Swiss.
At the same time, a priority for the EU is the integrity of its single market, which calls for the same rules to apply to all participants.
The bilateral treaties between Switzerland and the EU have been continuously developed, but talks came to a halt in 2021 when the Swiss government rejected a proposed update.
One challenge was managing the free movement of persons in a way that works for both parties.
The Swiss government has now proposed a package of new agreements. These expand the bilateral approach to include additional aspects, such as electricity and food safety. Switzerland is also seeking to safeguard wage levels, prevent an influx of immigrants into its social security system, uphold direct democratic rights, and preserve sovereignty.
In March 2024, negotiations between Switzerland and the EU were reopened, but there are many points on which the package could be resisted at home.
Switzerland benefits economically from the entry of skilled workers under the Free Movement of People agreement. But the right wing in particular feels that, as the population approaches 10 million, what they call unchecked migration is putting a strain on public resources. They would like to cap immigration or withdraw from the Free Movement Accord and have launched an initiative for a national vote.
To address these concerns, the Swiss government called for a unilateral safeguard clause. This allows suspension of free movement in the event of a massive influx of European workers. This demand was rejected outright by the EU states, who say free movement is a fundamental principle of the Union.
That's not the only issue facing resistance at home. As part of the New Deal, the EU insists that Switzerland adopts all future laws passed in the Union. In disputes over new laws, the European Court of Justice has the last word.
The Swiss People's Party and other critics see this as a threat to Swiss sovereignty.
Another point of contention, Brussels has accused Switzerland of discriminating against EU citizens with its wage protection measures. The Swiss want to protect their high salaries and prevent wage dumping.
The Swiss government counters that they can adopt domestic measures to tackle wage dumping and uncontrolled immigration.
Now a coalition formed by billionaire asset managers has launched a proposal, the Compass Initiative, that's clearly directed against the EU-Swiss package deal. It would give the people in the cantons the last word on adopting new laws.
Finally, what do ordinary people think of the EU? According to a recent survey from the research institute GFS Bern, most Swiss see the EU as a bureaucratic monstrosity that is denying Switzerland its right to have a say.
But they also recognise the importance of the EU for the Swiss economy. One day all these questions will come to the ballot. Until then, there will be countless debates over the pros and cons of the EU deal.